Mumbai, India, and today I have a very prominent astrologer from India, somewhere from Uttarakhand. Maybe I will not reveal exactly which area he's in, but he's somebody who was an electrical engineer who specialized in underwater robotics, an ex shippy who gave up his career to become a full time astrologer. And today he teaches astrology to astrologers who've been doing astrology since 20, 30, 40 years. Let me introduce you to none other than Deepanshu Giri on my channel.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for this wonderful introduction.
Yeah.
So my seniors didn't had the facility of laptop. They didn't had that infrastructure.
Yes.
So I'm only building upon what they've already built up for me.
Very true. Yeah.
If they wouldn't had be there, if they would not had that books,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm lucky that I'm born in a generation and era where I can take out my cell phone and build a chart.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's so true. For all the people out there who have no background to astrology, I would like to give a very small introduction to our Indian astrology and how ancient the science actually is. So we all have heard of वशिष्ठ मुनि, sage वशिष्ठ. उनकी गुफा भी है, ऋषिकेश में वशिष्ठ गुफा है. He wrote Rig Veda, and his grandson was Parashar Muni, and his school of astrology is called Parashari, which is still taught today in the schools for astrologers like Bharati Vidya Bhavan. And Parashar Muni's son, Ved Vyas, wrote Mahabharat. And Vyas Muni had a student called Jaimini, who was also a very famous astrologer, whose Jaimini Padhiti is still taught in till today, till date, in our Vedic astrology. Also, a lot of people don't know that these people were solar astrologers. They were sun-based astrologers. And then there were lunar astrologers. Ravana was a very famous astrologer, and his grandfather, Pulyatsa, was also a very, very famous astrologer. So astrology is passed down in India through legacy. And Deepanshu ji, मुझे हमेशा ये बहुत हैरानी होती है. How did 5,000 to 10,000 years back these astrologers sitting on planet Earth describe the solar system and the universe in Rig Veda and in all the Vedic chapters? उन्होंने literally, they described the universe as Brahmand, and they called it Brahmand.
Yep.
Then they also described all the planets, Guru, Shukra, Shani, Mangal, and
Yes.
today NASA ne ab jaake has given thumbs up to all these planets.
Yes.
So Guru is Jupiter, Mangal is Mars, Shukra is Venus, So it's like our ancient science and whatever our astrologers have, predicted has all been approved by NASA, including the 24 Nakshatra constellations.
Yep.
Ashwini, Bharani, Rohini, Mrigashira,
Yep.
so many of these nakshatras. And you have also been somewhere from the Bhrigu lineage. So who was Bhrigu Muni?
So there's a place in Pakistan where all the Bhrigu rishis were residing.
Okay.
And my great-grandfather was the Mahant over there.
Arre wah, kya baat
So
hai.
from there, he left his original surname,
Okay.
which was Bhrigu,
Okay.
and became Giri.
Wow.
So when you talked about different schools of astrology, right? So you said about Maharishi Parashar, Maharishi Bhrigu, Maharishi Gemini.
Right.
All these people are a different, imagine them as a different class, right? So whenever you have to look into future, you have only two things. You either have a space, either you have a time.
Yeah, true.
Anything to do with future, these two parameters, space and time, needs to be alternated. These two things you need to take in consideration. So Maharishi Parashar is very good in dividing the sky. So he looks at the sky, the complete zodiac, and he builds a mind map and says, I'm going to divide the sky into 12 zones, 30 degrees each.
Wow.
And that is your chart, which you see in a circular form, in a North Indian format, South Indian format. That is actually the division of the sky. Then he says, okay, he does not stop there. He says, now I will subdivide every zone.
Okay.
And it goes on dividing to the 0.50 degree,
Wow. My God.
half of a degree, and then even beyond that, saying this is exactly what is the space in this, where I'm looking.
Wow.
Okay. And then comes the Rishi Bhrigu. Rishi Bhrigu says, I'm not going to change and divide the space.
Okay.
I'm going to divide the time. So I'm going to build Bhrigu cycles.
Okay.
And he built up the complete system based on divisions of time.
Okay.
But I'm going to use the same space. I'm focusing more on time.
Wow. Okay.
So you see, these are two different astrologers achieving the same thing of future,
Yeah.
but based on two different concepts.
Wow.
You talked about Rishi Gemini.
Right.
So Rishi Gemini is a very, very different Rishi.
Is it? Okay.
Reason being is he is the one Rishi where most of the people will fail. That is why the most amount of confusions today is in Gemini astrology.
Oh, okay.
Like whether there are 7 charkaraks or 8 charkaraks, what to use, how to see. There are several confusions. Every single topic in Gemini will lead to confusion. The reason is he has only written like he's describing the Rashi of Mesh,
Okay.
which is Aries,
Yes.
as 5 rats and 5 cats.
Was it a code language? Was
Yes,
there?
absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, because see, all the other rishis are coming from a scientific, like an engineering background. So they're talking in very technical terms.
Okay.
And do you imagine an art student describing a certain thing?
Okay. Yeah. Is it like 5 number ka Ketu or something like that?
No, it's like, you see, 5 rats and 5 cats means you have 5 senses.
Okay.
So Aries is always in struggle of the body.
Oh, okay.
So you cannot fulfill these 5 senses at any point of time, and this is a continuous race. You see, you have to decode a Rishi Gemini and it takes time. And that is why Rishi Gemini is the only Rishi
Yeah.
who talks about the Atma Karak. What is my purpose of soul? Why I am born? An engineering student cannot describe it. Maharshi Parashar throughout the BPHS, Maharshi Bhrigu throughout Bhrigu Samhita has only talked about your love life, your married life, your health. They've not talked about why you are born.
Exactly. I wanted to say here that a lot of astrologers don't know pending karma
Yep.
and how to see your past life, because I have interacted with a whole lot of astrologers. I've had a whole lot of astrologers as friends. Very few of them believe in pending karma and past life. And at this stage, I have to say that even I thought that this past life, seeing analysis is a very probable science. But there was one astrologer who's currently in America, specializes in Nakshatras. He did a past life reading for me, and I was so amazed to realize that there was so much karmic similarity between that life and this life. Also, I'm not talking about my career. I'm just talking about things and situations in my personal life and what is happening right now. The correlation was, extraordinary.
Absolutely.
Also, just like how, like a child, there were some things I would think about, like, oh wow, kitna acha hota agar main ye kar pati, I wish I could do this. I would never realize at the age of 8 and 9, what was that? But later on, this astrologer was able to point it out to a custom, an ancient custom in India, where they would actually do it. Although astrologers say that we will do your past life astrology, but just take it with a pinch of salt.
Yep.
Think it is just a probable science. But after his reading, I don't think so. And I'm sure our astrologers hid a lot of knowledge from us. There must have been reasons why they did it. After this particular session where he did my past life astrology, I could actually connect the dots from that life, this life, why things are happening in a particular manner, why I'm in this situation in life. Like you just placed, in a scenario in life. And if this astrologer had not done past life astrology for me, I don't think I would have been mentally so balanced today, understanding everything, without panicking. In any case, I was somebody who never panicked. Like any situation, I was very cool. But now I realized, after knowing my past, why things are happening in a particular way, and I'm at peace. So very few astrologers do past life astrology. You are somebody, I think, you start your astrology with the past life. Why do you do that?
So the thing is, when you start doing any reading, right? So there are a lot of insecurities within us.
Right.
You'll see a very young kid is
Right.
trying to hide something, or
Right.
is very attached to a certain person in the family.
Right.
There's a reason behind it.
Okay.
Even the food habits, like I like this, I do not like this. Why? There has to be a reason behind it.
True.
So the moment you pinpoint that reason to person, that there might be a chance that this particular person might have been separated from you in a past life. Like there's a chart of a very young kid, and this kid has a Ketu in the second house.
Okay.
So it means separation from family, because
Yes.
Ketu is a kark of separation, right?
Absolutely. Yes.
Now that dispositor means where the Ketu is sitting, it is going in the 7th house.
Okay.
So I said, after this kid is born, did the problems in your married life started happening?
Okay.
Because this kid is the reason that you two will get separated, and this kid will suffer the most. She's carrying the karmic baggage with her, and that is why whenever she goes to school, she comes from school, she comes and hugs like, she's away from like million years.
Oh.
Now that's a deep rooted insecurity. The moment I told this to parents, the parents were like, they tried everything not to get divorced then. They started working on it.
Okay.
Otherwise, I could have given them any remedy. They will not understand why a kid is behaving in a certain manner. The moment you pinpoint that particular issue to a person, he will understand. I mean, humans understands logic. Humans understand that emotional part,
Very
right?
true.
The moment you give him remedy only, and do not explain why this kid is carrying a karmic baggage for you.
Right.
I mean, you did the same to her in past life. You made her suffer. That because of your divorce, she was very alone in the family. She had to go and live in boarding.
Okay.
And then I said, okay, in your family, was there cases where somebody go and went out and live in boarding? And they said, it's a family history.
Oh, they had a family history
History
of
of
people going and staying in boarding
Abroad.
school.
Yes. So now when you start understanding this karmic pattern in a chart, for example, there was a person who had a Mars Rahu, which is an extremely violent combination,
Yeah.
in a Sagittarius. Sagittarius is a war sign.
Okay.
In a war signs, right? So I said, and this is happening in the 9th house of Dharma, religion,
Yes.
temple.
Yeah.
I have to ask, who died in your family due to religion or fighting for the religion? Because this person says, I always see, because this person sees violent dreams.
Okay.
You don't know why.
Oh, okay.
Then I started connecting it to the religion. I said, have you ever fought for in this particular time period? Because that Dashanta Dasha will repeat.
Yes. Yes.
Have you fought for the temple? There's a fight going on with the temple. And he's fighting court case with the temple.
Yeah.
And I said, let it go. This is the karmic baggage you're carrying. Your Mars now will not trouble you if you let that court case go. You see, when you make them understand that people leave their properties.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I can relate whatever you're saying because I know multiple people. I've, studied a little bit of astrology, but know so many cases. And I know that the minute you see a person's chart, you know what that person is going through in life right now.
Absolutely.
If it's a court case, you know it. If it's a divorce, you know it. If it's a health issue, you know it. Provided you are a good astrologer.
Yes.
Because there are a
important.
lot of astrologers out there who I would say they have half knowledge. I won't blame them, but probably they haven't gone to the depth of astrology. They learn astrology, then they're content, and then they just follow the path. But astrology is like a sea, sea of information.
Absolutely.
You need to, dive in and keep researching, and then you get all these codes that, that just
To
come up?
unlock the chart.
Why are so many people today either getting, married late,
Okay.
or they have multiple issues with their marriage?
So there are a few things into it. First of all, change of times, right? Everyone
Yeah.
has their own priority.
Right.
And secondly, I believe we are the generation who have the very less amount of tolerance towards any other person.
Yes, true.
We live in nuclear families, and more than nuclear, we are in isolation at the moment. That even you are a couple living in, you still need your me time.
Yeah.
And you need to respect it.
There was an astrologer friend of mine, and he said somebody came to me for divorce, and I told that person that, so he saw his chart and he said that you will get divorced anyway because you're going through a phase where your marriage or your whatever relationship you're going to have is not going to go hunky-dory. So why get separated from your wife? Don't do that. And he didn't listen to him. He still went and got divorced. And I'm sure I can guarantee with the combinations that he had, his extramarital affair may not have lasted either.
So the thing is, some people are born to live in isolation.
Okay.
They're not the people who can live with other person, and they are prominently Ketu types. They live in their own dream world. The moment you disturb that bubble of their dream, they go crazy. They were like, why you are even saying this? Why you're disturbing my aura, my energy over there? Secondly, the concept of marriage, purely from the scientific point of view, was you require someone to complete you.
Yeah.
It's basically the energy exchange. Hinduism is a religion that is continuously based on science.
Okay.
Anything you will do, like chart matching.
Yes.
The moment you say, I'm going to get married to someone, the first thing your parents will say, get the charts matched.
Right.
The reason why this chart matching has to be done, the reason being is the energies has to be matched for both people.
Yeah. Venus also has to be compatible.
Everything.
Yeah.
The Rig Veda says the energy. It does not say Venus, because I'm talking about the scientific point of view.
Okay.
So the Nadi Dosh in Rig Veda is you have to marry 10 generations outside. And it has to be 100 kilometers outside your birthplace.
Okay.
Reason being is, when you two will meet, the kid who will be born has to be out of the lineage.
Okay.
Right? So there will be development of the generation with the coming generation. If you will marry within a close group, the DNA will not prosper over a period of time, and there will be problem.
Right. And modern day science has connected it to a whole lot of even Down's syndrome.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when you see this from Rig Veda, and then the Jyotish says Nadi Dosh, problem with the kids, and what they do match is that wherever you are born, they match your moon, basically, moon nakshatra. So your habits, your eating habits should not be same.
Okay.
There's the same nakshatra of moon, they will say do not, it's a Nadi Dosh.
Why?
Because again, there will be no development in the upcoming generation.
Okay.
There will be problem with the kids.
Is it? Okay.
So either you follow Rig Veda, either you follow Jyotish, both of them talking same thing.
Okay. There was a very prominent astrologer who was a channel also on YouTube. He said that whatever he has in his chart, whether it's his car or his big house, it's because of his wife.
Okay.
And he said he knows that he doesn't have the combination to get that big house and big car, but after he married his wife, she had the luck, and that's why he has the luck. What is this? I mean,
so you can be lucky through various people.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
You can have the luck through after the birth of your child.
Oh, okay.
After marriage, because what is happening is a person who's coming into your life is bringing his luck with you.
Okay.
And especially when somebody is going to meet you physically, it means there will be drastic changes.
Is it? Okay.
And that is why there are days where you should not meet your spouse.
Oh.
Like there should be not Chaturthi, Amavasya, Purnima, Sakranti. Reason being is these days the energy is extremely unstable.
Okay.
And if you conceive on that day,
Okay.
there will be troubles with the upcoming generation.
Oh.
I mean, when the energy is not soothing, like yesterday there was Ekadasi, right? So it's extremely beneficial energy. The angle of harmony is there. When you do the on Pratipada,
Yeah.
extremely heavy energy to start something new. That's the first day of the month. Triyodashi, the energies of moksha, leaving everything. I mean, I do not require anything. That's Bhagwan Shiv, Triyodashi. But on Chaturdashi, when the extreme energies of revenge,
Okay.
I mean, whom you're conceiving on Chaturdashi, the person is going to take revenge from you.
Oh.
On Purnima, the energy is extremely high. The person who will born will not be a balanced personality.
Okay.
So it's better not to conceive on that day.
How?
So people who bring, I mean, the moment you marry someone, that person, if the combination is good, like 7th Lord in 11th house, 7th Lord in 2nd house, 7th Lord in 9th house, 9th Lord in 7th, the Shukra in 9th house, Jupiter 7th, all these combinations belongs to that moment you will marry, your bhagya will rise.
Okay. Okay.
So it's important to see whom you're marrying.
But these days, people have frivolous relationships,
Yep.
you know, and then they just keep breaking up.
Yep.
So does that also affect?
So it's up to you how much of the energy drain you can handle.
Okay. Okay.
The moment you will meet someone on a lower energy, eventually your energy is draining, right?
Yes.
So can you afford to manage to lose your energy continuously? Are you actually trying? I mean, from where you will get the energy back?
Yeah.
So if you go into multiple relationships, let's suppose you're dating 5 people at the same time, you're involved physically with every one of them, you're draining yourself continuously.
Yeah.
And at one point of time, either you will fall sick or either you will get poor, or whoever is draining what? I mean, depends on their chart combinations.
Right.
There's somebody who must have a Saturn Rahu in Lagna.
Okay.
Somebody who's born in Gadanta position, Ashlesha Nakshatra.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Ashlesha third pada. So that's a Gadanta position. So if you are going to sleep with that person is going to drain you. Your mentality is going to change eventually.
Yeah.
And then you can't be the king.
Right. That's why always it is said that you have to choose your partners very carefully, very wisely, and of course use your
Head.
education, your intelligence, and
Absolutely.
wisdom. Do you believe in the Dua Bara position? I think it's called
Do Dwadash.
Do Dwadash.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you believe in that?
So one person has to gain in this combination.
Right.
Another person will has to leave.
Leave or face loss?
Face loss.
Because 12th house is the house of loss, second
Yes.
house is the house of
gain.
wealth.
Yes.
Right? So if somebody's Lagna falls, like if you choose a partner whose Lagna is falling in your 12th house.
Okay, let me stop you right there because it is not that simple. Let me read another dictum for you.
Okay.
So the one of the dictum says, let's suppose your kid is born with 6th, 8th and 12th position from your ascendant.
Okay.
Let's suppose you are a Gemini ascendant.
Okay.
The 6th house from the Gemini ascendant will be the sign of Scorpio.
Right.
And if a child is born with a Scorpio, the person will be, your kid will be enemy to you. Right?
I've
But-
seen this combination. I've
Okay.
seen this combination happening with
But
somebody.
it is not that simple. Let's suppose you have a prominent Scorpio which is creating Raj Yoga in your chart.
Okay.
And the kid is born with a Scorpion ascendant.
Okay.
Then what? The kid will bring Raj Yoga to you. So I have seen this combinations. You are asking absolutely questions which my client asked to me.
Okay.
So they are like, I'm going to marry this woman, but her lagna is a 6th to my or 8th to my natal lagna. Should I go ahead and marry?
Okay.
But you have to see what is beyond it, because see, when rishis will write something, they are imagining that you are a very intelligent person who has this book,
Okay.
and you will decipher a lot of ifs and buts in it.
Oh, okay.
So that is not the absolute truth
Yeah.
which you should focus on. You should look beyond it.
There was one of your channel videos which I saw, in which you said that you come across clients when you do your past life analysis.
Yeah.
you see them repeating the same mistakes, or rather the same situation comes in their life in this lifetime. And you say that invariably they repeat the mistake that they had done in the past life. Would it be like mistakes like having an extramarital affair, or maybe, cheating somebody or something like that?
So
with money or something like that?
So let's suppose somebody has a particular combination, right? A Shukra Rahu combination.
Okay.
People say it's a combination for extramaritals.
Okay.
Because Shukra has now got the energy of Rahu.
Right.
Rahu is like obsession.
Right.
Shukra is your spouse. So you have obsession with the opposite partner right now.
Yeah.
But it will depend on your free will.
Okay.
How you are going to react in that situation. So planets will give you only situation. Graha means that's a situation, right? You have a situation right now. How you're going to use that energy, it's up to you.
Is there any remedy or secret for happy marriage? Like, is there?
Okay. So the secret for happy marriage is always spread rumors about your marriage. Like if you're really happy in your marriage, I've tried it, tested it, works absolutely.
If you're happy, you say, I'm not happy.
Never say you're happy. Never.
Oh, okay.
Always say, there's so much trouble going in my marriage. To everyone.
Okay.
And you will always stay happy in your marriage. The moment you will tell your problems to someone, they will not help. They will find out way to bitch about it.
Absolutely.
Rumors, gossips.
Gossips,
Right.
Yeah.
The more it gossips, they're taking the bad karma into their life.
Is it?
Yes, absolutely. And that is why you should never ever gossip. I mean, that is one of the sins which humans do not realize how big this is. If you want to stay healthy, always spread rumors about your health. The second thing is, it's a kind of a remedy you want to call it. If you're struggling in any kind of relationship, so if it's a Martian issue is like ego issue.
Okay.
So most of the fights will happen between couples is because they do not want to listen to someone else. They want to listen to that I should win in this argument. Right. Offer Sindoor to Hanumanji.
Okay.
So this is what we'll do is, because Hanumanji is Mars cannot handle emotions.
Is it only Hanumanji's, or is it also Ganeshji?
Ganeshji is Ketu.
Okay.
So whenever there's a problem with Ketu energies, Ketu is like, leave me alone. I'm isolated. I do not want anyone with me. Do not disturb my energy bubble. Whenever there's a Ketu problem, please make sure you at least once in 6 months you go to a travel on hills.
Okay.
So Ketu is an energy which is related to your crown chakra.
Okay.
Right?
Not the Muladhara chakra?
No, I always say Ketu is a crown because Ketu are the peaks.
Okay.
The moment you reach the peak, the moment you get the high, why all the rishis are living in the mountains? There has to be a reason, right? Because it was close to the outer space. So people who have prominent Ketu, whenever they feel trouble, please go to a place where there are mountains. The moment you will reach mountains, you will feel calm down. Your anxiety will calm down.
Okay.
So Ketu gives you anxiety issues.
Okay.
To calm down anxieties, do walking continuously, like continuous walks in the house or within the society, and plan your trips to the mountains.
Okay.
If you have Rahu issues, that too much of desire, too much of expectation from partner. You have not done this for me, you must have done this. Then go to a sea beach. Or in a marriage, there's just too much of expectations from spouse, right? So take your partner to a sea beach.
Okay.
So what is this concept is? This is concept of time and space.
Okay.
So how does the time and space actually works is, people visit different temples at different time periods, right? So there are days decided that on Astronomy you should visit Kal Bhairav. Right? This is time and space concept. Why you're visiting a particular god in a particular time, in a particular spaces? Because you're trying to alternate your future. Space and time again. So what is happening is, the moment you if you want to change your destiny, you need to travel to different places, and that's why there are concept of temples.
Okay.
So what are temples? Temples are basically yantras. They're built at a specific place. I'm talking about temples like Kasal Devi.
Acha. Okay.
Temples like Badrinath, Kedarnath.
Okay.
The one which are ancient ones, which are built on the form of yantras.
Okay. Okay.
Like Kedarnath is a yantra, is a four-way yantra which has been built.
Okay.
Kasar Devi is built for the Ketu, extreme Ketu energy to balance it out.
Oh, okay.
So when you plan it on a Mahurat and you visit that Devata, suddenly what happens is few things in your brain change. Because you're at the right space. You see, there's a saying, right person at the right time.
Right, yeah.
That's a concept of space and time. So Rigved describes the temples as the place of change. Means you go inside as a different person, you come out as a different person.
Transformation.
Extreme transformations.
Okay.
But you have to choose Muhurta. So people only choose nowadays space.
Acha.
They're not choosing time.
Okay.
The moment you add the time factor to it, you will see there will be massive transformations in different people.
I have seen astrologers who can predict the exact year of marriage.
Yeah.
There are astrologers who cannot do that because they will categorize affairs with marriage. They will put it in the same box.
Okay.
But there are other astrologers who are very good, who can see, it may not even be a proper affair, maybe somebody else is interested in you, but they can see that as a separate scenario and marriage as a very separate scenario. So they're very clear. I'm sure even you can see, the year of marriage. There was one astrologer who told me that let nobody tell you at any point of time that you don't have free will in marriage. So he said that the concept of free will exists, and if a person doesn't want to get married, say the person is maybe the mathadipati of some mutt or some guru, and he has renounced everything. So he doesn't want to get married. Does he come across that marriage phase, and then because of his willpower he ignores that part?
So yesterday we had a chart where the person had a Jupiter in Navansha Lagna.
Okay, Navansha Lagna.
Okay, so this is a combination of a saint if the Jupiter is well placed. Now, this particular person is into extreme spiritual practices of mantras. I mean, he has mastered mantras. For him, the marriage is not an issue. Man is 26 years of age.
Okay.
Very young, PhD scholar. But he is very clear that, I'm not going to get married at all. And we can see that in chart.
Can you see the desire, or can you see the fact that marriage is
So you can see
difficult?
both.
You can see both. Okay.
So desire comes from the Navansha Lagna.
Okay.
So if there are only malefics like Mars, Ketu, Navansha Lagna. So you do not even have any desire to get married.
Okay.
Ketu, Saturn. Not even Saturn, Jupiter, not even desired to get married.
Okay.
You have a Shukra, Rahu, Navansha, you know that you are going to get married. There are going to be multiple affairs.
Okay.
So depending on the dasha you are running, you can say it's a two-way. The 9th house, because you do not get married until unless there's a blessings of Jupiter.
Yes, true.
Right?
Yes.
So without the involvement of the 9th house, there will be no legality of marriage.
Okay.
So whenever you see 9th Lord in a very extremely disturbed position, 9th Lord and Jupiter both in extremely disturbed position, these are the live-in conditions.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So I see you should be very clear when you're looking at the chart, because nowadays the work of astrology is getting difficult.
Yeah. Times are changing.
Earlier it was easy. You can see the Jupiter transit and say, okay, 24th is a marriage age or 27th is a marriage age. Nowadays, it's like you will have relationship at this point of time and the marriage will be around this time.
Okay.
This is what you can predict.
Yeah.
But you cannot say to a person that you will get married. Reason being is there is always a free will.
Okay.
You will say there will be options at this point of time.
Opportunity.
Opportunity, yes. opportunity. Like I have a chart with is a very, very rich person. When I say rich, it means top 5% of country.
Okay.
Saturn, Mercury, Navansh Lagna.
Okay.
Not married, 38 years age.
Okay.
So the will is not there.
Okay. Okay.
Right. So it is his free will. There's no desire for marriage.
So basically, if you don't want to get married, then opportunities will come, but you will not get married.
Yes, absolutely.
Let's talk about extramarital affairs because it has become very common all throughout the world. Initially, it was not very common in our country. It was a taboo, but today it's on the rise. Is it a very karmic thing? Like, is there any lesson that one needs to learn?
First of all, let's think why people frown upon it. Because there's a religious issues. There are social boundaries.
Yes.
There are commitment issues. In the chart, if you talk about the chart and talk about the karmic patterns, why you meet different people? Because you have that combination.
Okay.
Let's suppose somebody has a combination for multiple partners.
Okay.
Right? A dual sign, Mercury plays in it, 7th house. Multiple partners will come and go.
Gemini, Mercury.
Gemini, Mercury, yes.
So, I would feel that when two people are married, if the marriage is going on well, then there is no reason why the guy or the girl who has the tendencies or the combinations in their horoscope for extramarital affair should step out of their marriage and approach other people. Personally, I don't see a reason why, but there have been people who have told me that it's okay. I mean, I'm having a great marriage with my wife, but if I feel like having an affair with somebody and if that person is okay with it, why not? But invariably, I have seen a lot of misery. They bring in a lot of misery in their life, and whatever they're going in for always backfires. It doesn't work out for them.
So there's a free will in a chart, right?
Yeah.
You have a free will to live a very wonderful life with your wife and spouse and husband.
Okay.
Or you can go for an extramarital. That's your free will.
Okay.
But after that action, what misery or what bad thing, if you're cheating someone, be sure universe will send something back in your pocket which you will regret. So universe has a very wonderful system of balancing things out.
Absolutely, yeah.
So you can't say, okay, just because I have a free will, I can break this rule. You're going against your rule, universe will balance it. So be sure of, you cannot take excuse as I have a Venus-Rahu combination. I mean, I've seen people doing it, that because I have this combination, that is why I will behave like this. No, it's absolutely wrong.
Yeah, exactly. I have seen people who say, or who know, because I said I have a lot of astrologer friends, they know that they're going through certain combinations. They know that it's wrong, but they will still do it because they think it's in my chart, so I will do it. But they probably don't realize that it's maybe destiny's way of tricking them and putting them to test to see their resistance level and to see if they have spiritually elevated themselves to overcome that scenario or that temptation in life.
So let us suppose you're driving a car, right? It is your free will when and how you're going to drive the car.
Yes.
So drive is your combination.
Yes.
The free will on how to drive it, it's your free will.
Okay.
Secondly, every combination, I'm telling you this very seriously, every combination comes on a very high and low frequency scales.
Yeah.
So the lower frequencies, I'm going to have a love affair. Higher frequencies, I'm going to do something for other people to use this energy. So it's like a fire, right? You can use it to cook something. You can use it to burn someone else.
Very true and very well said.
So depends on how you're going to use that energy. Saturn Moon combination is a combination for depression. That's what people say it's a wish yoga.
Okay.
But at the same time, you can use the same combination to become a researcher.
Okay.
You cannot become a researcher without this combination. You need to think into deep terms and how you're going to use that energy.
That's exactly why I feel when people give you remedies, उपाय जब देते हैं astrologers, they might see that 2 planet आपको कुछ नहीं दे रहे हैं, but वो नहीं देखते हैं कि वो 2 planets आपको क्या दे रहे हैं.
Absolutely.
और कुछ एक चीज पाने के चक्कर में they are killing something else probably which you're meant to, you're destined for.
So there was a qualification to become an astrologer earlier. Nowadays it's not.
Okay.
But as a teacher, what I try to do is I try to pass on wisdom as well. I do not only teach astrology, I tell them the wisdom part as well.
Yeah.
So that you should look beyond what the person is saying. Let him speak because he's a kid. Even if he's a 50-year-old person, treat him as a kid. Because he do not see he has not gone through that amount of study in the Jyotish terms.
Yeah.
So when you give somebody a remedy for a particular planet, for example, Lal Kitab says, Jupiter 10th house, do not go to temple. Jupiter 7th house, do not go to temple.
Okay.
I tell every one of my students, every morning, please visit temple.
Is it only house or is it also signs?
Lal Kitab talks about houses only.
Only houses, okay.
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 So, because until unless you understand the deeper meaning of it,
okay.
Until unless you have that wisdom, that why it is being said, you cannot give advice to someone which is like, do not go to temple or do not do this or do this. Understand the deeper meanings of things first.
Okay.
Understand from Rishi's perspective.
Okay.
I mean, if you're not, that's why I always tell this, astrology, practicing astrology is not a profession. It's a lifestyle you live with. If you do not have the lifestyle, you will fail miserably.
Yes, yes. I've heard a lot of people say that it's like a curse. Having so much of knowledge is like a curse.
Jyotish, people who become astrologers, they're carrying from several lives.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And the trouble is, due to this knowledge, they go through a lot of transformations in their life. They go in acceptance mode. Like when you know something about your chart so deeply, imagine you're continuously reading for 10, 15 years. You know your chart so well.
Yeah.
You don't even have to see chart at one point of time.
Yes.
You become like, okay, this is about to happen. I'm ready for it.
Right.
So that's a curse you live with.
Yeah, true. So that was Deepanshu Ji with all the brilliant suggestions on relationships, do's and don'ts. Also, please remember that a lot of people will not understand the technicalities of astrology until and unless you know astrology. You know the signs, the nakshatras, the grahas, the houses. So for a lot of people, it's very easy to say, doesn't work, all bullshit, astrologers ullu banate hain. They don't. They know their science. Yes, I can definitely tell you that I'm not saying that go to any astrologer and he will, solve your problem. No, there are some astrologers who can give you wrong advices and, maybe they are destined to give you the wrong advice. So you might end up going and taking a decision which is wrong for you. So I would always say that the root of the science, I think, is to become more spiritual in your life, because that's what I'm seeing. Every astrologer whom I feel is at the top of their game gets more and more deeply spiritual as they progress in their life. And if they're not, then I see, if they get into this money-making game and if they start seeing every client as somebody whom they just want to hold on and keep on to themselves, I don't think they go higher as astrologers, not only in their vidya, but also as, their spiritual progress. So with that, I will come back with many more episodes, part 2, part 3, many more episodes. We'll talk about donation and gifting and a whole lot of other topics that are very interesting. So do subscribe to my channel and look out for the other videos. Thank you. Lots of love.